Everyone loves to act like Santa Claus when it comes to giving away presents during the holidays, but it doesn't mean you have to look like him in the process. The food temptations of the holiday season are inevitable. It usually starts with the Halloween candy rush, all the way through popping champagne bottles on New Year's Eve. We have multiple Christmas parties, family dinners, gift shopping at the mall, office gatherings, maybe it's your dog's birthday, or who knows what else comes up. There's simply no escaping it. And then you're left with the aftermath. If you're not careful, you're gonna be left picking up the pieces of all the hard work you've put in over the course of the year. Worst case scenario, you're back to square one. They say the average person gains about a pound during the holiday season. In my opinion, that's definitely on the conservative side of things. But don't fret. Through years of trial and error, I've compiled 10 easy to follow strategies and diet hacks to make sure your waistline doesn't get out of hand during the holiday season. Why? Because giving up delicious food isn't an option. Nobody likes the guy who alienates himself from the crowd by eating just his green salad with no dressing. You're not a rabbit. That's no way to live. There is, however, a way to approach the holidays without sabotaging your diet and throwing away all your hard work. Learn how to eat during the holiday season and still have fun by following these 10 simple yet extremely effective diet hacks. These are the exact same tips that I give to all my students, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. So you know it works. Before we get started, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to get notified every time I post a new video every week. Number 1, get some quality sleep. This is where it all starts. If you want to be a healthy and happy human being, this should be right near the top as one of your priorities every day. During the holidays, set yourself up for success by getting a good night's rest before a Christmas party. Heck, even a short nap during the day helps. But ideally, you want to get at least 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep in a pitch black room every night. Because studies show that lack of sleep is directly tied to having a lack of willpower. And it makes sense because, for starters, sleep deprivation directly affects the amygdala, which is the reward center of your brain. It also affects important fat loss hormones like leptin, which is the hormone that signals your body that you're full. It also affects ghrelin, which is our hunger hormone, as well as cortisol, our stress hormone, and insulin, which is just the hormone that controls our body weight. Long story short, if we're sleep deprived, more likely than not, that's when we resort to the seafood diet. We see food, we eat it. And if you find yourself at a party where food is served buffet style, that's a recipe for disaster. We tend to grab bigger portions and go for those highly processed, starchy, and sugary foods when we're sleep deprived. Some studies even show that we eat as much as an extra 300 calories the next day when we don't get enough sleep. And this makes sense. Nobody wakes up from a weekend bender and they say they feel great and they're craving broccoli. No, we usually crave the worst kind of food. Do that enough times and you're gonna find your pants fitting a little bit tighter sooner rather than later. So do yourself a favor and skip that extra episode on Netflix and hit the sack early starting tonight. Number 2, be picky. You'll often find yourself at a potluck or a buffet during the holidays. This is where the all-important mindful eating comes into play. The problem is, this is also the time when common sense goes completely out the window for a lot of people. People just go YOLO and let themselves go because 'tis the season. Don't do that to yourself. You're better than that. The holiday season isn't a green light to just let yourself go. So pick wisely when it's your turn at the buffet table. Go for the good stuff first. Keep doing the little things. For example, go for the broth-based soup instead of the cream-based alternative. When snacking on vegetables, skip the creamy ranch dip and go for hummus instead. Want to go the extra mile? Bring your own healthy dish. Because you can't always control what gets brought to a potluck party. The solution? Bring your own healthy dish to make sure there's always something you can enjoy guilt-free. Which then lets you follow tip number 3. Follow the 50-25-25 rule. Using this rule is one of the best ways to still be able to enjoy yourself and prevent overeating. At the very least, half your plate should be filled with vegetables, while the other half should be an even split of protein and carbs. That way, you still get to enjoy yourself while keeping your calories under control. Want to go the extra mile? Use smaller plates and utensils. Serve yourself with a tablespoon or even a teaspoon instead of your giant-sized serving spoon. Why? Because the average calories eaten at a holiday dinner is a mind-blowing 3,000 calories. That number most likely doesn't include your pre-dinner snacks and drinks. You can even take it a step further and cut your calories by as much as 40% by using a dessert plate when grabbing food from the table. Perspective is everything when it comes to food. The more room you have on your plate, the more likely you are to fill it. That's how your brain works. When eating dessert, use a smaller scoop if it's available. For example, we eat almost twice as much ice cream when we use a 3-ounce scoop versus a smaller counterpart. It's all about the little things here. Number 4, Don't hover. Why? Because if it's within an arm's reach, you're probably gonna go for it. So after you fill up your plate at a potluck party, again, ideally you're using a smaller plate, do yourself a favor and walk away from the table so you're not tempted to go for seconds or even thirds. If you're on the other side of the room, away from all the food, you're less likely to mindlessly snack from the table. Out of sight, out of mind, because we all know that one person who sets up shop near the table and just goes to town. Don't be that guy. Number 5, account for things. We all want it. The next person who tells me they don't like dessert would be the first. So plan to leave some room for your favorite treat instead of always saying, there's always room for dessert after you've already stuffed yourself and you can barely breathe. Listen, I love dessert just as much as the next guy. It's kind of my weakness. I would hate to miss out on the opportunity to enjoy cheesecake, carrot cake, cookies, or ice cream at a party. So I actually make a point to leave some calorie wiggle room for it. I love following the 20% rule when it comes to this. Serve yourself 20% less than you normally would during the main course, especially when it comes to starchy food. Trust me, you'll barely notice it. When it comes to vegetables, think 20% more. Again, this is when that all-important 50-25-25 rule comes into play. Skip the extra beer or that spiced rum and eggnog. That way, you can account and still enjoy your favorite treats without letting your calories just skyrocket. Number 6, water is your best friend. They say that buying groceries when you're hungry is a bad idea because you just end up buying anything and everything in sight. You're just not yourself and you're not thinking properly. Going to a dinner party while you're starving is basically the same because your eyes are usually bigger than your appetite. Making sure you're always properly hydrated is the first step to prevent yourself from overeating. So before you get into food festivities, try to drink a glass of water or two. You can even drink coffee or tea. Your mind sometimes can't tell the difference whether you're actually hungry or just thirsty. Staying properly hydrated takes care of this problem. Better yet, have a small, healthy meal before the festivities so you can make sensible food choices. Number 7, take some for the road. If your dinner plate looks like it could feed a small village, it might not be a good idea to finish it. Here's how our brain processes food. The first few bites are usually the best. After that, our taste buds don't register the same flavors anymore. We just resort to what we've been conditioned to do. We just mindlessly eat. We try to finish the food on our plate no matter how big the portion is. It doesn't matter that we're already stuffed. The thing is, you don't always have to. You have a choice. Again, mindful eating is the name of the game. It's just not worth the extra calories. Instead, do yourself a favor and take the leftovers home. That way you have lunch the next day. Number 8, liquid calories count big time. If you've been following my channel, you should already know how I feel about liquid calories. It's easily one of the most insidious ways to sabotage your weight loss progress. If you're from North America, holiday season also means eggnog season. I mean, who doesn't love it? It's like Christmas in a glass. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty tasty. However, if you pay attention to its nutritional facts, and you always should, it has a mind-blowing 343 calories and 21 grams of added sugar per cup. The problem is, nobody just drinks 1 cup of this stuff. You take 1 sip and your brain lights up like a Christmas tree. You just want more. Going back to tip number 5, just make sure you plan ahead and account for it if you do plan on indulging a little bit. Better yet, go the extra mile. Pour the eggnog or any drink in general into a tall, skinny glass. It also looks fancier and not the short, wide opening kind. Studies have shown that you're more likely to serve yourself as much as 30% when using the latter. That's huge. Also, an easy way to keep track of your liquid calories is to keep a visual evidence of what you've consumed. Leave your empty glasses or empty bottles of wine or beer in sight. Trust me when I say you'll be less tempted to drink more. Number 9, keep up with your workouts. I get it. You have all your Christmas shopping, office parties, family dinners, bake sales, and who knows what else that you need to take care of. Having said that, you still need to make sure that you take the time to take care of yourself. You need to keep doing everything that got you to the dance, especially exercise. Don't just stop working out and start over in the new year. After all, you still need to give your body a reason to burn off those holiday treats. Exercise is one of the best ways to empty out your glycogen stores. Otherwise, all those treats are going to be stored as fat much faster. Number 10, make a list. Heck, even Santa makes a list. When you go to the mall, write down the stores you need to go to and stick to them. If you just start wandering aimlessly, that's when temptations start to kick in. Also, if you can help it, plan your route so you don't pass that ever so tempting cookie stand multiple times. Let me ask you this. How many times have you caught yourself walking around the mall and the smell of fresh baked cookies or cinnamon buns all of a sudden just punches you in the face? That's how they lure you. It also doesn't help when they give away free samples. Trust me when I say that these companies know how your brain works. So do yourself a favor and just say no. walk away. Let's be honest, you've said yes to the free samples before. Who doesn't like free food? You think to yourself, what's the harm? It's just one bite. We're all guilty of this. Next thing you know, you're buying a half dozen to take home with you. Also, notice how these dessert places are completely separate from the main food court area. That way, they don't have any competition when it comes to luring you in their direction once you get a whiff of those fresh baked treats. So, whatever you do not go to the mall on an empty stomach. It just makes it harder to say no to these temptations. You're basically torturing yourself. And if you've been sleep deprived, you almost have no chance to resist. Number 11. Bonus tip. Keep your numbers in check. Knowing your numbers is an unbelievably effective way to keep yourself accountable because you can't control what you can't measure. Some people are against weighing themselves daily. I get it. But here's the thing. Numbers don't lie. It's really all about how you perceive it. The way I see it, weighing yourself daily basically becomes your personal accountability coach. There are consequences if you go completely off track because you have to face the music when you weigh yourself the next day. Do you see what I mean here? With that in mind, maybe you go for red wine instead. A 5-ounce glass, which is a standard serving, has approximately 100 calories instead of rum and eggnog. Again, 1 cup has 343 calories and 21 grams of added sugar. Maybe you don't go for seconds at the buffet table. The biggest takeaway here, as always, is be sensible about your food decisions. Choose your indulgences wisely during this festive season. I'm not saying you should never enjoy yourself. I mean, that's just life. You should be able to go to a party and enjoy what you eat. Just make sure you plan accordingly. It goes without saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Again, keep doing everything that got you to the dance. Don't just throw away all your hard work and think that you can just start over on January 1st. Everyone loves to act like Santa Claus when it comes to giving away presents during the holidays, but it doesn't mean you have to look like him in the process. The next question then becomes, how are you actually supposed to eat if you want to lose weight? Because here's the thing, 80% of your body composition is determined by your diet. You can't just freestyle this part. Do you have a proven plan that you can follow? To help you with that, I want to give you a free copy of my Lean Body Blueprint. This is how I melted all the fat around my stomach without depriving myself of my favorite foods or wasting hours at the gym. It's a simple 4-step process specifically designed for busy professionals, and it's the exact same blueprint that I teach to all my private coaching clients, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. If you want to be the next success story, then download your free copy of the Lean Body Blueprint right now. There's going to be a link somewhere at the top here or in the description box. Just click on it, type in your email, and I'll send it to you right away. All right, that's all I've got. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post a new video every week. And hey, leave a comment below if you have any questions about this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. First, a high five.